Hi, this is Eric Erb from theericarbshow.com live, and you can find me online at theericarbshow.com, twitter.com/theericarbshow, and of course on spreaker.com/theericarbshow live, and on my new platform podbeam.com/ericarblive. Okay, I want to talk to you about something I was reading in the news. I knew this was going to come around. This was just a matter of time. I've been predicting this for weeks and weeks and weeks. The headlines out of naturalnews.com. This is dated February 11th, so we're a day behind. February 11th, 2020. It says, China's tragic choice: run the factories and sacrifice the workers, or else halt the factories and lose the nation. With the coronavirus, which I've been following for weeks and weeks, this is going on to almost a month now. I've been following this very, very, very closely. As you guys know out there, everybody or anybody that listens to this podcast knows I've been following the coronavirus very, very, very carefully. I predicted this was going to happen, that the infection that spread in Wuhan, China, is out of control. It's already gone to a global pandemic, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it. They don't have a cure. Any cures they do have, these are fake cures. These cures do not work. These cures are just fooling the patient. The patient might recover just for a little bit, for a week or two, then the symptoms come right back. So they don't have a cure. They won't have a cure for at least 6 months to a year, a viable cure, again, because they have to go through field testing, trials and errors, and different things like that, and field test and actual documented human test on humans, so human trials and different things like that. You know, the testing process, anytime they come out with a vaccine, to fight a virus, is always scrutinized. It's scrutinized, and re-scrutinized. I don't know how many times. It's not something that you can stick in a machine, out pops the Fruit Loops, and you bag it up and box it, and there you go, and it's on the counter or it's on the shelf, and you can go to your grocery store and buy it. That's not how the vaccine industry works. It's very, very, very sad that it's come down to this, but I've even predicted by maybe late April or June of 2020, if they don't stop this virus, I predicted within 90 to 120 days, China's going to collapse globally and financially. And I've already said this. I've said this over and over and over and over and over again. It just gets to be redundant and retarded at some point in time. But that's what I predicted, and now everything is coming to pass right now, everything that I predicted. China is almost the second largest global economic force in the entire world. Some would even debate and say, well, they're the first, actually, and the United States is second. I still say it's the other way around, especially with the virus, the coronavirus going around, because the United States economy under President Trump is growing very, very, very strong. And a lot of people don't see that. And with the Wuhan coronavirus, this has gone and this is spread all over the place, all over the planet, all over the world. And because it's spread, China is going down financially. People don't want to do business with the Chinese. The Chinese don't even want to do business with the Chinese, to be honest with you, because the virus is spreading all over, a pandemic. The WHO, as I've been saying, I don't know, it must have been 20 or 30 times I've been saying this. I'll say this again and again and again and again. The WHO is sticking up for China because they're in bed with China. Okay, the WHO is on the take. China is bribing the WHO, so they're putting out positive propaganda about the coronavirus and limiting the casualty amount and the death toll. And they're saying, well, geez, we're not, You know how China solves a problem. It's kind of like watching The Simpsons. You know, how do you solve a problem? Well, if you walk out in the middle of the road, you get hit. Well, okay, China does something better than that. If they don't provide enough test kits for the coronavirus there in China, then what happens is you have less patients being able and being documented having the coronavirus. So it's just that simple. It's the law of numbers. Less kits mean less patients that aren't documented, means that's the publicity and that's the bullshit and propaganda that they pump out. And it's very, very, very sad because, again, Chinese economy is global. It's just as bigger than the United States economy there in China. But again, the coronavirus has affected all of China. I predicted again and again and again that China would be shut down, the whole entire country, and that looks like that's heading that way, and that's heading that way very, very, very quickly, maybe even before 90 or 120 days. And it's sad. Their economy has to take a hit, but it is what it is. They released this sucker, whether it accidentally or on purpose. They're to blame for the release 100%. Of course, the WHO won't point the finger. God, heaven forbid, we point the finger at the Chinese. No, that's no good. They're afraid of China, the WHO, World Health Organization. They are afraid of China. This is why they're sticking up for China. China's paid them off, bought them off, and so they got to say nice little things about China. Oh, we don't have 2,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 people dead. No. We only have 400 or 500, maybe 1,000. You know, that's why they go with China and agree to the lie and the propaganda and all the bullshit. And the numbers are fictitious. And again, as I've been saying over and over and over, as this virus spreads all throughout China, which it just about has now, that the Chinese economy will collapse. And sure enough, as I read it, if people don't go to work, then the economy collapses. So China, being the greedy nation, not caring about its citizens, not truly caring in the communist dictatorial society China is, again, guess what? We sacrifice life, human life. We want our fucking money. This is the Chinese government now. Xi Jinping, the president of China, that's all he cares about is money, 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 money. Well, you can shove your money up your fucking ass, because pretty soon you're forcing these people to go to work, these people that make your plastic parts, your cheap-ass tools, your bullshit, all your plastic bullshit that you pump over here to the United States. Your country is collapsing, and it's collapsing fast. And guess what? With the spread of the coronavirus, you can't stop it now. You're fucked. That's right. You're totally, totally fucked, because you can't stop the coronavirus. And as we sit here in the United States, and we have better containment over here, and yeah, I know, we have probably a dozen cases. There's probably 2 or 3 dozen cases here in the United States. Of course there is. But the media is only going to say there's only 12 to 15, maybe 16 cases, which I know they're full of shit. I don't listen to the lamestream media, because you're never going to get the truth. That's the fact of life. You never get the truth from the media, ever. You never will. Because that's all they are. They're paid to lie. But China, on the other hand, they just care about the mighty dollar. They're going to live with the dollar. That's all they care about. That's all they want is their money, and they're going to die with that money shoved right up their ass. Because if those people, again, don't go to the factories and produce, no money, no exports, no money for China, China goes belly up, economy and the society collapse. And that's exactly what's starting to go on now. They have to, you got to be kidding me. I read an article the other day. They're trying to flood the money with currency and prop the market up with all this false bullshit and everything, all this shell games, just so that the stock market doesn't go down and on Wall Street and their stocks stay high, and all this artificial inflation and all this bullshit. You know that the bankers always play, these big stockbrokers always play this bullshit. All it is a shell game. And you know who loses at the shell game? When you artificially pump up and pump the numbers up, is the people. The people that invest in these companies, the people invest in all these businesses and companies. It's the everyday average person. When they pump up the stock market here artificially, and it shoots the Dow, shoots to over 20,000, people go crazy. They're going nuts and all that bullshit. But it's not real. It's a facade. And just like the Chinese have done, it's another facade. And the facade is growing to an end. All I can say is that I hope the government learns a lesson over there. And I feel very sorry for the people. I pray for the people. I really do. But it's the dictatorial government that needs to go and needs to go now. Xi Jinping and company, they need to get the fuck out. They need to get rid of those assholes now, the communists. They're never going to be any good with them because communists only care about their own communist. They don't care about the people. Because if they cared about the people, they wouldn't make them go to work sick, pretending they were okay, and then the coronavirus comes back, they're sick, they're reinfected, all because of the greed, the filth, and the money. This is Eric Erb from The Eric Erb Show. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Subscribe. I'd love to have you. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com. And, of course, you can find me on Spreaker.com. / The Eric Erb Show Live, and on my new platform, Podbeam. You can find me on Podbeam at Podbeam / Eric Erb Live. There we go. A little tongue-tied there. But thank you very much for listening, and this is The Eric Erb Show. Eric Erb signing off.